Hello everyone, today I'll be presenting on the topic mods and rockers in pop culture. Firstly, talking about the mods and rockers were two rival youth subcultures that emerged in Britain in the mid 1960s. The mods were known for their fashion and listening to jazz music. On the other side, rockers were bikers who wore leather-clad style jackets and were influenced by American rock and roll music. The different tastes of fashion and music led to intense rivalry between them. Both groups played a crucial role in shaping the music, fashion, and pop culture of their own time. Moving on to hypothesis. It appears to represent the mods and rockers' conflict as a symbolic clash between modernity and tradition, as well as youth rebellion and societal expectations. The visual and sonic elements suggest a cultural divide, with each group asserting their identity through fashion, music, and their own movements. Now talking about the structuralistic approach. Firstly, the physical qualities. Color. Mods usually wear stylish clothing of highly bright colored fashion, while rockers wear dark leather jackets, focusing on their modernism and individualism. And the pattern and shape of their clothes. Mods wear slim tailored suits that reflect their sophistication, while rockers wear loose fitting clothes of leather and denim that reflect the radical attitude. Now talking about the formal qualities. Music taste. Mods used to listen to jazz, soul, and upbeat rock music, while the rocker listened to bass-driven heavy rock and roll music. Sense of movement. Mods used to listen and vibe with the energy of the music played, while the rocker usually rode the bikes at high speed by playing bass-driven heavy rock and roll music, showing their freedom and individualism. Moving on to images and words that reflect their personalities. Newspaper headlines often reflect the mods versus rockers conflict as a social threat to the society of youth culture, and the dialogues used by the groups often highlights their personality, mods as stylish and progressive, whereas rockers as rebels and outsiders. The songs represent mods leaning towards theme of self-expression and youth culture, while the rockers lean on rebellion and raw emotions. Now moving on to post-structural analysis. Talking about the affects and feelings. Mods and rockers evolve the feeling of excitement and tension by illustrating both the acceleration of youth culture and the anxieties of the social fragmentation. The conflict between the groups create a feeling of chaos and aggression in the youngsters, as well as it shows the unity within the subculture represents by them showing belongingness and friendship among themselves. Talking about the gauge of rate, media have shown the mods living in urban areas, focusing on their modernity and consumer culture, whereas rockers are represented in open spaces enjoying their rugged independence. Media gauge both the groups as deviant, but the representation varies. Mods were described as trendy and aspirational, while the rockers were described as dangerous and lawless, who were not following the laws. Moving on to intertextuality. Following the American pop culture in rockers highlights the influence on British youth culture. The 1964 media coverage of violent clash between the group in Britain became part of a broader narrative about the youth rebellion. The exchange of influences has shaped future generations, preserving the rebellious essence across different media and fashion trends. Here are some examples of encoding-decoding approach. Firstly, producer-preferred reading example. The media represent mods and rockers as dangerous youth groups that intensify social alarms. Second one, negotiated reading. Viewers see their rivalry as sensationalized by the media, but still recognize its importance in shaping the youth culture. And last one, oppositional reading. Both the groups should be praised for leading the subcultures and standing up to the norms, rather than questioning the usual viewpoint. Talking about what's the overall meaning of this example. The example suggests that the mods and rockers conflict is not simply about fashion or music, but reflects deeper cultural and societal tensions. It highlights the struggle of youth subcultures to assert their identity against mainstream expectations and authority figures. The example also highlights how media shapes public thinking, often amplifying fears about youth movement. Regarding genre, the example fits with the broader tradition of youth rebellion commonly found in subcultural studies, rock music history, and social commentary films. It shares themes with other works that explore generational conflicts. Historically, the example reflects the anxiety of post-war Britain in the 1960s when young people sought new forms of expression aimed at rapid social change. The mods and rockers groups can be seen as an early indication of cultural fragmentation that would define later decades as youth movements continue to change societal norms. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. Here are some references that I used to do the research.